So we move to the next presentation. It's titled Constraints into Information System Strategic Planning and Information System Development in the Banking Sector. Co-authored by I'm very bad at these designations. Lieutenant Colonel Suresh Pakshaweera, Mr. Nandana Pathirage, and Mr. Sajith Peiris. As you know, Lieutenant Colonel Pakshaweera is from KDU, and he is presently the head of Department of IT and Mathematics at Kotelawala Defense University. And Mr. Sajith Peiris is from University of Sri Chawadanapura, graduate from University of Sri Chawadanapura. Together with them, Mr. Nandana Pathirage, our presenter this morning, has co-authored this paper. Mr. Pathirage is a graduate of the University of Portsmouth, United Kingdom. Currently, he is a PhD student, a student of the PhD program conducted by the KDU. Mr. Pathirage was an IT project manager and has a wide-ranging experience in managing industrial projects such as debt collection, subscriber management systems, ERP systems, and customer relationship management systems, which are commonly known as CRM. At present, Mr. Pathirage is attached to the Department of IT and Mathematics at the KDU, and his current research interests are in the area of strategic information systems planning, management information systems, and project management. It's my honor and pleasure to invite Mr. Nandana Pathirage to present his paper titled Constraints into IS Strategic Planning and IS Development in the Banking Sector in Sri Lanka, I believe.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before moving to the research proper, I would like to draw your attention in some incidents that took place in the recent past. There are some kind of incidents that took place in the recent past. So once you go through those articles, actually it suggests there is some kind of a ill adjustment with the Sri Lankan banking sector and its integration with the real world pressures and constraints. All the incidents include everything. This is very much important, this one, and all the incidents suggest there is some kind of a ill adjustment in our banking system information systems, and it's integrated with the real world pressures and constraints. So with that, I'll move on to my research. It's IX strategic planning and IS development in the banking sector need to integrate real world pressures and constraints. My co-authors are Lieutenant Colonel Suresh Pakshaweera and Sajith Peiris, and myself. So within the next few minutes, I will describe my research work, our research work covering these topics: introduction, research aim and questions, methodology, data analysis, and conclusions. So it is very much important to know what is SISP. So then normally the strategies are defined from the corporate strategy or the Department of Marketing and Strategic Departments. So once they introduce those strategies, the IS department or the IS strategic planning peoples are need to integrate that as soon as possible to cater the niche market. So then that mobile company targeted to come up with the excellent corporate strategy to targeting the particular niche market. But to implement that particular strategy, they took more than 4 years. So that is due to their lack of integration with the system, information system planning stage. They took 4 years, mean it's in the business industry, in any sector, it's a very, very competitive industry. So then that kind of a time constraints, it's really affect for the organization strategies. So then what is it is, why then SISP for the banking sector, how it relates to the banking sector? So in two aspects I will explain why it's important to the banking sector. One is the banking sector, according to the Michael Porter information intensity matrix. There he explained the banking sector as the high information intensity of the product, and the value chain it's in the high level. So therefore you can assume, not assuming actually, you can decide the banking sector where it is in the information strategies. It's a really totally depend on the information strategy. So without information, proper information planning, the banking sector kind of a industry cannot survive. It's totally depend on the information. So that's why SISP very much crucial for the banking sector. Then the other characteristic, the bounded and unboundedness of the particular domain or the nature. According to Akoff, he has explained some characteristic, how you're going to identify any kind of a social problem or domain or industry or any sector, whether it's a bounded or unbounded. So then if you consider these characteristics in detail, the banking sector are categorized more towards unbounded nature. The unbounded nature means you can't define the boundaries. It's very messy and the complex. The operation of the banking system, it's wide range, spread throughout wide range. So then the banking sector more towards unbounded. That is another characteristic. Because of that, the SISP planning is very much crucial in the banking sector. So the research aim of this research to determine the extent to which the Sri Lankan banking sector should incorporate real world pressures and constraints into their information system strategies considering the global context. The entire research based around this question, to what extent real world pressures and constraints need to be incorporated into IS strategic planning and IS development in the Sri Lankan banking sector. Methodology. So this entire research will be based on the inductive research paradigm. There we have used qualitative approach, only qualitative approach to gather the data from the domain, Sri Lankan banking domains. There we use as a research techniques, interview, case studies, observation and document reviews, and we have used inquiry system called multiple reality inquiry system with integrated qualitative approach to extract the data in the data collection. There, to theorize the finding and come to the conclusion and generalizing, we are using technique, inductive reasoning technique. They are also due to, we have used multiple reality inquiry system, so then we have to conclude, also we have to use that particular inquiry system based on the perspective of economic, social, technological, legal and security. To conclude and generalize the finding through that perspectives. Because as I explained earlier, banking sector is the, nature of the banking sector is the unbounded. It's the complex situation. When you address in the complex kind of situations, we can't give the answer in the one aspect. We have to look at it in the different perspectives. So that's why we have used that. And then the conclusion, the best solution is selected by the, depending on the contextual requirement. Decision maker, he will decide what is the best. In this case, researcher. So for an example, the different perspectives are there, different answers are there. What is the best? Always contingent upon the situation. So then the decision maker will decide what will be the correct depending on the contextual requirements. That is the entire research approach. So data analysis, there first we look at planning stage, feasibility and the data analysis and designing. There if you look at in this, we are using special technique called effect possibility, the consequence analysis technique to measure the effect and the severity of the particular problem. If you fail in the planning stage, what will be the effect? So then this is the failure of the planning stage. So then the effect will be, there is a probability of possible probability. If something happens, the effect is the fatal effect. So in this case, we have to more concentrate in the planning stage when designing, planning information system in the banking sector. Then the feasibility evaluation stage, it's more towards unlikely, but if happen, the effect will be severe. But it's more toward unlikely, not like in the planning stage. That's what our result shows. In the analysis and design stage, it's unlikely. It's the latter part. And the effect also slightly negative. It's moved toward this side. And the severity also come down in this stage, analysis and design stage. And another aspect we have looked at this, we have analyzed data in terms of failure consequences, professional code of conduct, and data accessibility. There is ethical implications. That is one of the key area when any strategic planner think about when designing an information system for the banking kind of a complex situation, very demanding kind of an information system. There you can see this effect probability give. So then there are some negligible failure consequences, kind of a G. IT infrastructure damages due to the natural disasters such as floods, fire and earthquake. It has a probability of happening is more towards negligible, but there is a possible. But if it is happen, the effect will be severe. And then you can see D, the virus and the malicious software attacks causing system to malfunction. That is very likely happening. That is very likely reason within the last few months, even commercial bank website and the HSBC. Okay. So likewise, you can see the professional code of conduct and data accessibility issues also showing the grid. So the conclusion and generalization, as I explained, this kind of a complex situations, we have to use multiple perspectives. These are the economic issues, strategically, technological issues, and then the security issues and the legal issues. You can say legal issues, it's more toward negligible, and if it's legal issue, it's happened, its effect is severe. And what we can say is the final, economic pressures and constraints need to be greatly considered in IS planning and IS development of banking sector. The technological pressures and constraints also having the high significance, and social pressures and constraints in the planning of information sector comparatively less insignificant with other factors. So that is the selection will be, as I explained in the methodology, based on the contextual requirement of the decision makers. Okay. Thank you.